Poole, Garrick, Shannon, Kentucky in the home white. Mississippi State in the road black, and we're underway from Rupp Arena, where Kentucky has won over 88% of its games since the building was opened in the mid-70s. Here's Josh Hubbard, the leading scorer in the SEC. Sean Jones Jr. less than 10 to shoot. Into the paint, got Dioubate up and took advantage.
That's really good patience by Mississippi State on the first possession. They're going to have to try to make Kentucky guard them for long possessions. Kentucky using their 7th different starting lineup there without Jaden Quaintance tonight, dealing with some swelling in that knee, in which he had surgery to repair a torn ACL. Meanwhile, Malachi Marino puts Kentucky on the board. That's a promising move right there. Moreno with the offensive rebound and a nice jump hook over the top. Achor off the mark on a 3. Quincy Ballard couldn't corral. It's a Mississippi State team that began its season 4-5, regularly playing 5 transfers. They've since won 6 in a row. They were exposed in a lot of ways, and they felt like the scout would have been out on them. They realized they needed to shuffle some things around, play offense differently. It's required unselfishness from most of the roster, and boy, has it paid off. Well, as many of these teams in college basketball, when you put together a team without a lot of continuity, it does take some time to gel. That's some continuity. Ballard finding Achor. And there you see that chemistry right there. Mississippi State getting the ball into the soft spot, and the 7-footer Ballard with his head up, dropping the dime on the baseline. Corner 3 for Aberdeen. Marino with the rebound. Ball did not draw iron. 10 to shoot. Backdoor feed. Away with the hammer. And that gets this Rupp Arena crowd on its feet. And for good reason. Incredible ball movement as Moreno with his head up. Owe with the backdoor cut and a response. Epps with the tray ball. Allowing the open 3 was an issue for Kentucky in its loss in the SEC opener against Alabama. Certainly something that was on the scout tonight. Dioubate off the mark, and it's Epps with the rebound. Hubbard stripped by Lowe, now gripping that shoulder with a wrap on it, and he's walked off the floor. Shirky to manage. You never know when it can slip out of that joint, and you can see that Jalen Lowe has a little bit of a pain on that one. Hopefully he can get back into the action. He's coming off his first start at Kentucky and lost to Missouri on Wednesday. They were so happy to have him back regularly, feeling like he was healthy and back to playing like his old self, his all-ACC self, like last year at Pittsburgh. They're going to need him, but I'll tell you one thing, the Mississippi State Bulldogs are not concerned with who's on the court for Kentucky. It's next man up with the Wildcats. Off the mark, Owe. Colin Chandler comes onto the floor for the first time and misses on a 3. Mississippi State with an overtime win against Texas and a thumping of Oklahoma, despite shooting just 2 of 15 from downtown. We're able to get it done in many ways. Hubbard draws it in this game so far. Could it be the recipe for the Wildcats to regain their swagger? They began the game 2 for 8 from the floor. They've since gone 6 for 8, all without Jalen Lowe, who exited the game with 17 minutes to go in the opening half, and we have not seen him since. And the Cats are also without their star center, Jaden Quaintance. Quaintance known for his defensive work. And this defensive end, I believe, is where Kentucky can start to find a little bit of momentum. They have been allowing Mississippi State to catch the ball way too easily. Cam Williams takes it home. Beautiful job by Kentucky, denying all of the passes, and Cam Williams picking that one off and leading to the easy layup. 7-0 Wildcat run. phenomenal work. The adjustments have started to be made, and this crowd here at Rupp Arena is applauding the effort. Malachi Moreno.
Area that Kentucky has a distinct advantage tonight. We asked Mark Pope about that. He said, look, length can play out in a lot of different ways in a basketball game. The two ways I want to see it play out, rebounding and getting into the passing lanes. They've done that since the last time out. Cam Williams goes to the hole. And it's a two-point game here in Lexington.
This is the run that Kentucky needs. And Cam Williams has spearheaded this with another savvy drive to the cup.
Sergei Matsura into the paint, back out Sean Jones Jr. 10 to shoot for the Bulldogs. Step back three, McGee. Here comes Jasper Johnson. And there's a whistle by Orlandis.
They're going to have to pick up the defensive work. They were gifted a few free baskets with some blown coverages, but Kentucky has made the adjustments.
It was not a foul on Mississippi State. They had to correct the shot clock. 13 to shoot. Johnson a three. Kentucky leads. Hubbard off the bounce. Up and under, sent back by Owe. All they wanted and more today, ultimately falling to the Dogs.
A lot of good action around the league. Teams trying to establish their identity early on in the SEC season.
Marino swatted by Jamarion Davis Fleming, true freshman from Canton, Mississippi. Coming off the best game of his young career, had 8 points, 10 boards, 2 blocks in the double-digit thumping of Oklahoma. Under 10 to shoot. Owe slashes and lays it in.
Beautiful action right there. They throw the ball into the low post, and you see the guard split off the post. That type of cut action created the confusion with Mississippi State in the easy layup.
Moreno picked the pocket of Hubbard. Largest lead of the game for Kentucky at 3.
Well, this freshman, Malachi Moreno, has stepped up his game. He's doing it on both ends of the court with the activity and the ball screen coverage, but his offensive work has been magnificent.
Much more ball pressure. Second half of these opening 20 minutes from Kentucky. Jones slipped inside Davis Fleming. Finished, and that is the first field goal in nearly 4 minutes for Mississippi State. Jasper Johnson, no, and Marino the tap back jam.
Marino, the activity on both ends of the court. Good things happen when you play with this level of spirit. 24 in white is doing his part.
Epps catch and shoot. And a foul on Jamarion Davis Fleming.
As Moreno had it, created that opportunity for the easy layup in the half-court set.
Dioubate, the Alabama transfer. No good with the left hand. Josh Hubbard, floater, no, and yes! A chore, soaring in.
He's been playing high-level basketball, and there he is, the activity on the offensive rebound.
Oh, Sean Jones Jr.
See the 40-inch vertical.
And with the injury to Dioubate, who missed 5 games. And Marino played so well over that stretch that Mark Pope was forced to continue to keep him in the lineup.
Well, he's got himself going by the way of 4 offensive rebounds. If I would tell any young player, if you want to be a contributor, go and get it off the glass.
Under 10 to shoot again here for Mississippi State. A chore hounded and was fouled.
A lot of time as we start the second half. Kentucky's had the momentum, but Chris Jans and his squad have been able to make adjustments this season, and We'll see what type of adjustments it will have here in the second half.
Wildcats with back-to-back losses to start SEC play against Alabama and Missouri. And that Missouri game is a game in which they led by 8 with 4.5 minutes to go. Right here in Lexington is a game they felt like they let slip away.
It was a total meltdown in the clutch. But, you know, sometimes there's some things that you can gain. And you have games and there's a close loss. You know you were competing. It's just some easy things that you need to clean up within your organization.
Right. Marino's had a pair of steals in this game. The big man has been involved on both ends of the floor. His fingerprints have touched every aspect of this game. Cam Williams started hot. He was 4 for 4. Now Denzel Aberdeen with 10 to shoot. Pull-up jumper. Rims out. Rebound Jones.
Aberdeen tries to initiate the contact when he comes off those screen roll actions. I think he can really get ahead of steam and create something much easier.
Ballard, helter-skelter shots. Tap back good by Achor.
Nifty work by Ballard, coming off that spin move, catching in the short roll. And the activity of the front line with the offensive rebound putback.
Williams off the bounce, stripped by Achor. And here comes Jaden Epps. Just 1 for 5 in the opening half was the Georgetown transfer Epps. Hubbard knifes, lays it in, 15 to lead all scorers.
Great job by Josh Hubbard. He found the defender falling asleep and he snuck right in from the backside in the dime. Was able to free him up with a nice scoop lay.
Quad 1 opportunity tonight for Mississippi State. They have just one quad 1 win so far. It was a neutral site game against Utah. Oweh, no on the 3. Dioubate without much resistance. A second opportunity, counted in the foul. Players to miss time this year with an injury, and we have received official word that Jalen Lowe is out for the remainder of the game. Appeared, Richard, early in the first half to re-aggravate that shoulder that held him out 7 games prior.
Those are tricky injuries. Anyone who's had shoulder injuries, you know that it just can take any slight movement. It can slip out of the joint, cause some aggravation. We hope that he'll be able to get back into the action the next round.
Jones, Achor, tap out, it's Williams. Inside Dioubate, stripped by Epps, last touched by Mississippi State. It'll stay here with 24 to shoot.
A lot of contact on both ends. These players are scrapping and fighting for every inch of position on the court.
Well, Mississippi State have sort of developed that identity of scrappiness after beginning the year 4 and 5. Started to play the way they had to play, according to Chris Jans. Part of that was scrappiness. Oweh rejected by Ballard. And Marino, right place, right time with the jam.
There he is. Malachi Marino with his 5th offensive rebound. That time Johnny on the spot. And that penetration by Oweh got the shot blocker to have to rotate over.
Inside Ballard, deep post feed, couldn't get the left hand bunny. Denzel Aberdeen on skates, traveled. That's almost picked by Dioubate. Achor saved it, 15 to shoot. Plenty of time here for Mississippi State.
Big possession right here for the Bulldogs.
Down 5, McGee. Oh yeah, nifty over the top of Dioubate.
Very crafty bucket right there by Jabari McGee, and a big bucket for Mississippi State.
Williams met at the rim, no call. Now a whistle, and it's a foul on the floor against Quincy Ballard.